No, you didn't match my rhythm. You lost. Now you can't get laid. My mic.
I ain't got no style. I ain't got no grace.
You ain't got no rhythm. You ain't got no face.
Well, just because you can't see it doesn't mean it doesn't exist.
No, you don't have a face. Now you can't eat.
Are you trying to imply that we should do webcam episode?
No.
Okay. Welcome back to your favorite podcast.
Right, welcome back to your favorite podcast. How many weeks have we missed now?
Just two?
I think so. Bro, it's like the perfect conundrum.
If you say we missed them, it sounds bad. You could just say, we
facts, we missed them. Facts, we missed them, and it was because just like terrible circumstances. I think the first week was because I got the second dose of the vaccine, and it tried to murder me.
Oh, yeah.
It legit tried to kill me, bro. Like, it didn't succeed.
I'm actually getting mine tomorrow, so I'm going to be... Good thing we're recording this today, because I know I'm going to be dying for the next couple days.
You might be one of the lucky ones who don't get nothing, but for me, oh boy. Like, it wasn't as bad as other people because, like, a lot of other my family members and friends got, like, nausea and vomiting and, like really awful shit. For me, it was just, like, really bad body ache, a really bad headache, and, like, heat strokes.
I've heard heat stroke is common.
Yeah, that's, like, the main
people
one.
I know.
Bro, I woke up, like, drenched in sweat.
Yeah.
Like, just to try it, like, before I went to shower, I took off, like, the t-shirt I was wearing and drained it into the sink with how much sweat it had.
Gosh. That's, like, disgusting, but thank you for illustrating the point.
I mean, I guess, bro, but, like, I had to change the sheets. I had to put my sheets to wash. That's how bad the heat stroke was. And I have an AC in my room that's always in 69 nice degrees. That's
Perfect.
How cold it is in my room all the time, and I still sweat up a storm.
Is it called cold sweats when, like, no matter how cold it is, you'll still, like, sweating?
I don't know if that's cold sweats or heat strokes, but I guess it could.
Yeah,
maybe it's
I think cold sweats is what I heard, because, like, well, I haven't gotten mine yet, but family members that told me, like, that's how they described it. Like, no matter how many blankets they got, that, like, they felt cold, but they were sweating.
Oh, no.
So I guess that's why it's a cold sweat.
Like, I felt hot.
Oh, then maybe it is different for you then.
Yeah. Like, I was hot. Like, I wasn't cold. I was hot, bro. Even, like, when, like, the only time I could feel somewhat less hot was when I was outside of the covers. And even then, I think just, like, my internal temperature just, like, shot up real bad.
Jeez.
And I got close to a fever, but not all there, because I didn't have any coughs. I didn't have anything. It was just that. It was like a really bad headache, real sore body, like, and the heat strokes. Everything else left immediately, like, after that night. Like, the heat stroke stopped. The headache mostly went away. The thing that lasted a couple of days was the sore body, and that was awful, bro. Trying to stream with that, my neck was stiff. I would turn my head slightly, and it was like excruciating, the pain.
Oh God, I would hate that, man. That reminds me of, I don't remember what happened, but yeah, like, I messed up my neck at some point and I couldn't turn it at all to the left. That's like, that was, honestly, it might be one of the most annoying things I've had to deal with, like, body wise.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't a sickness or anything, but any neck or back pain, like, it just sucks.
Yeah, it was that.
Because you feel like you can't do anything.
Exactly, yeah. And it was the arms too. If I would, like, raise my arms, like, slightly, it would hurt. I was just like, fucking...
no. Now you got getting me freaking nervous over here, man.
Yeah, it was bad, bro. I got like a bum eye. My fucking
I just gotta hope I got, like, the Kadu injected in me, I'll just survive.
Turn into a werewolf, man. That'd be great. And
if any of our lovely listeners have gotten their shots, let us know anything you've experienced.
If any
I'm very
survivors.
curious. Yeah, how are you dealing with it?
Yeah, for me.
And if you haven't, or if you refuse to get your shot, also let me know, what are you afraid of? Are you going to turn into a werewolf? Is the government listening to our words right at this moment? What's going on?
I mean, you're a little bit nice about it, but if there's someone in our group that's not getting the shots, I'm gonna I'll end them.
I'm just more curious. Like, my uncle is heavy conspiracy theorist, and I was
That's
talking to him
funny.
the other day, and like I just like picking his brain about like what his thought process, like what he thinks might happen or what he's scared of, you know.
Yeah.
I feel like everybody that's on that kind of thinking is mainly like they're not necessarily afraid, but they just don't know if in like a year or two like there will be some side effects, because obviously there hasn't been enough time yet. But like I'm just like, bruh.
If you get side effects, just sue.
Exactly. I mean, if everybody gets the side effects, you know, we'll all sue.
We'll all sue, exactly. Then they have to give us our money. Oh, but no, yeah, for me it was bad. I got like a bum eye. I grew like a club foot. My fucking skin turned yellow and then blue in other parts, and then my fingers fell off, and then I got like ADD. I got ADHD.
Oh, that'd be
OCD.
epic, man. What if this is like the mutant gene, and in like 3 years we all
It's the
start getting
mutant gene,
superpowers?
but instead of superpowers, it gave you like all the like bad shit, like all the bad neurodivergent shit. Like you got ADD, you got like BPD, you got ADHD, you got like OCD, like I got schizophrenic.
I was thinking more like body things. Like I was about to say that's just getting into your mid-20s, bro. You start getting the backaches.
You grow like webbed fingers and webbed toes.
Start getting early onset Alzheimer's, you know.
You got 10/20 vision.
Oh God.
Your teeth fall out. Now it's just getting to Cronenberg horror.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Yeah, good luck. Good luck on your shot, bro. I hope you don't get out of commission. That would be bad.
I have a feeling that just because of past, like I shouldn't say never, because I don't get the traditional seasonal flu or whatever, but whenever I do get sick, it's like
it's really bad,
weird and bad.
Yeah, it's same for me. I get like asthma and like I get bronchial shit every time I get sick. But
I guess just because I feel like I don't get sick often, I'll probably be fine. But I don't think that really matters for the COVID shot, at least.
Are both you and Karen getting it at the same time?
Yeah, that's what we're also worried about. That we're both gonna be out of commission. We can't help each other.
Damn, that'll be rough. Hopefully, one of you doesn't like get anything, because if both of you are out of commish, nothing's gonna happen in that house for like the next 2 days.
Yeah, we didn't really think about that until like we had already got the shot, and we're like, oh wait, we got to come back the same day.
It's gonna be a ghost house. I think Raph and Tisha are getting theirs tomorrow too. They
we'll
are.
all be. We'll all keep up on a little.
Good. I'm excited. I'm glad.
We got to make like a support group Discord.
Because when I got mine, like they had a little bit of a pity party for me, but they were also fucking goofing on me. So now when they get theirs, I'm gonna
shit!
be able to
you get to be the goofer.
Everybody, yeah. I'm gonna like send them loud voice messages and I'm gonna like call them all the time, like, and then hang up immediately so I can just keep calling them so the ringtone will annoy them. I'm gonna make them suffer.
So how you feeling? I'm dying.
Feeling?
So
Good.
how you doing?
Yeah. I roll up to their house and just like be parked in front of their house, just honking the horn. And then when they come outside, I drive away. And then when they go back inside, I come back.
Just like pop a Corona while they're bedridden, just right in front of them.
It's right next to them.
I'm chilling, man.
Like,
I'm
man,
immune.
you look rough. Tough break.
Oh no.
No,
That's my true cure. I got my tequila ready, you know.
Yeah. Oh no.
There's an old Mexican remedy.
No, you shouldn't. They say alcohol makes the symptoms worse.
Well, you see, there's an old Mexican remedy.
They say alcohol makes the symptoms worse, so I advise against it.
Have you ever heard about that though? Like, apparently you take a shot of tequila for a sore throat.
Nah, that's all like witchcraft shit. That's
I'm pretty sure it's BS. Yeah. But for some reason, I've never done it, but like, I'm kind of curious.
Probably the only reason they consider that a remedy is because when you get drunk off your ass, you can't feel shit.
I mean, they just take one shot though. Like, that's not gonna mess you up.
Particularly strong shot, I guess.
I think it might be because, you know, like just taking a shot raw, like kind of burns your throat a little bit. Yeah. Maybe it just makes you forget about the soreness because you have a burning sensation.
That does seem like it would be the situation.
It's like the most backwards home remedy ever. I have a splitting headache. Let me just cut my arm off real quick.
Yeah.
That'll make the pain go away.
Let me fucking smack my head with a hammer.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I see it like.
But then even after that fucking week, then my computer, the next week, my computer just like fucking had a hissy fit. And to this day, it's still like fucking up on me. It's
man.
Like, especially Streamlabs, bro.
I don't even know if I want to get into that because I'm going to get triggered by Apex, you know.
Legends?
It's been a rough... Yeah, Apex. You know, that should have been our first, like, light bulb ding above the head that the website was called Apex.
Yeah,
after
usually
Apex
when they
Legends.
have those like super gamer words as their like lingo and their company names, I think you can't trust them.
You can't trust that.
I've always had that philosophy. Whenever someone puts gamer on anything, it's just a good excuse to like overprice their shit. Because the other day, like my mom wants to get me like for my birthday, wants to get me like a gamer chair. And like I was looking at websites, like she was getting them from like this other like website where like specifically branded them for gamers, right?
Oh yeah.
And like they were double the price from like the site I was looking at.
Hey, you're not gonna get the Scorpion chair?
Dude, I fucking wish, dude. I want the Scorpion chair that actually like walks around and shit. And I'll be like fucking like MODOK type shit where I'm just like,
that would be epic.
I get
You're just
so like
gaming on the
lethargic
go.
and all that stuff that I end up fusing into the chair, and now I move around in it everywhere. It's like I'm just gaming on the go, gaming and streaming on the go.
The Stephen Hawking of gaming, you could say. Okay, maybe I should have said.
Oh my god. The funniest part is that I wanted to run with the joke, but then I was just like, I probably shouldn't.
You ain't running in that chair, buddy.
Stop. That's awful. That's horrible. But no, I already talked about the whole fucking computer situation on stream. It's just probably due to like COVID and a whole bunch of stuff. It might be arriving later than recently, but you've gotten screwed over a little more with your computer situation than me, which is unfortunate. But
yeah, dude. I think it's just a really bad time for gaming, PC gaming in general.
It's really a bad time for gamers. Gamers are just really oppressed right now. This is not...
No, for real. It's not just COVID either. It's the freaking cryptocurrency craze. Basically, if you don't know, the way that more Bitcoin and any other crypto is generated is at least the most like efficient way. People have not literally, but they're called farms, which is basically just a room full of computers with like the latest graphics card, and all that it's doing is like generating Bitcoin for them. So that combined with COVID, which means that shipping anything, especially out of the country, is a lot harder, means there's a severe shortage on computer parts.
Yeah.
So I think because of that, both of those things combined, it's like, if you're trying to buy a gaming PC, it's not a good time.
I just, ultimately, I think for the better of humanity, cryptocurrency needs to die off at some point. At some point. It's not good for the environment. It's not good for regular ass people. Like,
that's the one thing I don't get, actually. How is it, like I heard about that recently, how Bitcoin is not like fossil fuels efficient or whatever.
Well,
like,
because you need so much energy to run those those exact computer farms you were talking about. They sap so much.
But what if you just use
energy.
solar power to run them?
But that's the thing. Most of the industry these days isn't using solar power, and that's why.
No, I know they're not, obviously. But I'm saying, like, if we did, then the problem would be solved, right?
Well, apparently there's this other situation where, like, I don't know if you've heard that. I think you were the one who explained it to me. That supposedly, like, computer space isn't unlimited. Like, there's gonna be a point where we run out. Was it you, the one who told me about this? That, like, supposedly there's a specific year where, like, all, like, hard drive space everywhere is just gonna run out. Like, there's a specific clock.
Really?
Like, and then, like, everything's gonna have to, like, start from zero when it comes to, like, digital stuff.
Bro, that sounds like some Y2K shit. Like, I don't buy it.
No, but it's not like a doomsday thing. It's kind of like just like an informational thing. Where like at
Well,
some point
Y2K was
gonna,
never
like,
really a doomsday.
restart.
That was exactly what it was.
Well, Y2K was just like that. Oh, people thought that all the computer stuff was gonna shut down. It was gonna make all the nukes launch.
No, not the. It was mainly about like the stock market crashing and like basically they thought that like the dollar would go to zero, like everything would go to zero, basically.
Oh no, but this doesn't have to do with like currency or anything. It has to do with like specifically with the internet. That like supposedly I haven't double checked it. I don't remember who told me about it, but it's not like a big deal. It's not like oh no, what are we gonna do? Like people are like making preparations for it. But yeah, apparently there's this whole thing where like hard drive space like isn't unlimited.
Here's the thing. I don't exactly get. I'll have to look into it too. But my mind right now is going to the fact that when we were growing up, you had a freaking floppy disk carried, the floppy disk was the size of like a CD case, basically. Yeah. And that shit carried a max of like 32 megabytes.
Yeah.
Now you have an SD card the size of a Tic Tac that carries up to 1 terabyte.
Yeah.
So in terms of physical space, I don't think we'll ever run out. Now in terms of servers, like on the internet, then I don't know.
But that's where this is where I was like, because I think it was a video. I don't know. People think that because of the internet being like this formless thing, that it never runs out. But the reality is...
there is real servers, like physical servers.
But exactly. But those servers run on energy that run on like actual physical material.
Yeah, yeah.
And the point, I think... Because the reality of the universe, if we're going into this cosmic shit, there's a thing called entropy. And everything runs on the law of entropy that at some point everything does degrade. Like nothing is infinite. Like there's nothing in this universe, at least that we know of, that is infinite. And that goes for everything. That goes for like informational space on computers, energy production, food production, land, anything. And apparently the internet isn't, in some way that I don't fully understand, isn't exempt from this. And that supposedly there is like an informational limit that we could reach. And apparently crypto coin, like the production of cryptocurrency, has sped up that process apparently.
Yeah, because I freaked out for a second because I thought my freaking mic wasn't recording this whole time.
Oh, that would have been funny.
False alarm.
We ran out of mic space.
As we were recording this podcast, the internet has collapsed.
Yeah.
It is May 19th at 7:31 p.m. I do declare the internet dead.
Is over. The internet is over. And we now invite Internet 2. But
bro, how are we supposed to get to Ready Player One if the internet's gonna die out? No, it can't happen.
I think we're gonna die out first.
Yeah, probably.
But yeah, I don't know. I don't know the super mega intricacies of it. There's probably information, like better explained things about it out there somewhere in the internet. I could be explaining it all wrong. But yeah, apparently like, on top of the insane energy production that it takes to make cryptocurrency, apparently it takes up a whole bunch of fucking information space. And like we're making more of it than we could sustain.
I see.
And that's like the issue with cryptocurrency. And then,
so it's the age-old issue of humanity is just greed, basically.
Yeah, mostly just like, biting off more than we could chew, kind of like producing in excess.
That is, to me at least, greed, essentially.
Like, it's like a combination of greed and also just like not being aware of just like, it has to do, at the same time, there could be some people who are like aware of it and are just like, whatever, we don't care. But there could also be the situation where like we're just ignorant to the full scale of harm that this all causes. It's like that whole idea of just like, in this current day and age, there's no such thing as ethical consumption, especially under capitalism. Because like, even back in the day, like, I bet you the people who invented plastic and started plastic production at that time weren't aware like the horrible repercussions that would come out of it.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, that's like why Tupperware was like the biggest fucking thing at the time. They were just like pumping it out.
It was like a miracle thing. Like people weren't aware.
And people, and I don't think they really cared. Like in 10 years, like where's all this plastic going to end up, or how is that going to affect the environment? Similarly to how now we are more aware of like fossil fuels and we're trying to fix it. But at the same time, we are doing things like crypto, which we don't know
Yeah,
like I wasn't even aware at all that it had an environmental impact, you know?
Yeah.
Until recently,
and I feel like that's the thing. I feel like with every new discovery, eventually down the road, we're gonna figure something out that makes us go like, ooh.
Who knows, man? Maybe even like solar power, wind power has its like downsides too. So it's like, I guess at the end, my rule of thumb has always been that everything in excess is bad. Yeah. And I don't know. I think that's like there's a saying similar to that, right? Like too much of something.
Too much of a good thing.
Exactly. Yeah. Too much of a good thing is bad.
Yeah. Where it's just, but I feel like that's just like kind of like the nature of just like existing, Obviously,
yeah, that's what I meant. That's like a rule of thumb, like a rule of the universe.
That shouldn't be any kind of justification to make you go, fuck it, let's just ruin everything then. No, like I feel like we have the added benefit of having sentience to being aware of the damage we do, and we should do our best to mitigate it for as much and as long as we can. But at the same time, we can't fool ourselves into thinking that there's anything in this world that in some way or shape won't cause harm. Like, because that's just like the nature of the fucking universe, Mm-hmm. What someone gains, someone else loses, at the end of the day. That's just how like every fucking thing is. That's why I don't subscribe to that narrative about like these fucking ultra nihilistic people who are just like, humanity is a plague, all we've ever done is damage and destroy, and we're invasive. If we didn't do it, someone else was. Like, that's just the fucking facts. Like, if humanity didn't come along, some other thing would have come along to do the same thing. That's just like, it's both. You have to like put yourself on a situation where like you recognize the incredible like thing that is humanity, but also recognize that in the grander scale of the universe, we're nothing. Mm-hmm. To the point where we can't think we're so special that we're like some horrible monstrosity, abomination of nature that should have never happened. Because at the end of the day, if it wasn't us, it was going to be someone else. It's happened since the dawn of fucking time. Other species have driven other species into extinction, because they're the ones who needed to survive. And, nature has been able to like do different things where, it always tips the scales. One day it's going to happen with us at some point. But at the end of the day, I think it's just like reconciling with the fact that there's no such thing as ethical consumption. And at the end of the day, everything has to survive. And sometimes survival of one species is at the expense of another. We just got to do our best to mitigate that harm, because we're capable of doing it. But at the same time, nothing good ever comes about of you going to a person and going like, humanity sucks and we should all die. It's like, no.
Yeah. No, I feel like on the other side of the coin for that type of person, like there's the people that think that, but then they're actually actively looking for ways to be better for the planet. Mm-hmm. Like, the people that try to live as much as they can from their own, like they produce whatever they consume,
like
basically.
Composting and all that other stuff, which is great. But
it's like exactly. I like much respect to those people. Maybe I'm a bit on the nihilist side, 'cause I feel like you could never get everyone on board to do that.
No, never.
Or at least with how society is now. Like, maybe
both
60,
on a moral standpoint,
100 before the Industrial Revolution. Sure. But,
but I feel
now
like...
it's unless a major, like, almost catastrophic event happened, like, people aren't just going to reset and be like, all right, let's give up all of these super convenient luxuries and go back to living from the farm.
Yeah. I just feel like it's just the nature of life itself. Life will always find a way to more conveniently and efficiently and effectively survive. Just the nature of things. That's how fucking nature is. Look at all these animals who are now starting to get into like their own little like tool ages and their own little stone ages.
Oh yeah, dude. Well, that's one thing that maybe it's my pessimistic view, but like even if humanity completely burns out, like the earth will be okay in another million years.
Exactly.
Like, the earth will manage to survive. I think it's humanity that's more likely to die out.
Exactly. Not more likely. That's what's gonna happen, bro. Like, it's either gonna happen we survive long enough to where the fucking sun in our solar system blows up, or some horrible atrocity like a giant meteor hits us and boom, we're done, or we just die out like every other species has. You know,
Yeah.
it's one way or the
Even
other.
that,
We're not
like,
gonna last forever.
if the dinosaurs really died to a meteor, like the Earth kept going, you know?
Yeah, it was like, and it wasn't even the meteor that solely killed him. It was like the meteor, like
In the
fucking
aftermath.
threw up all this like fucking like radiation and ash into the atmosphere and created like this horrible ice age, and almost everything died out. You know,
And this is why we must become an interplanetary species.
I mean, I guess.
I can't do an Elon impression, but that's what he would be saying right now.
Just be an asshole. But still, like, and going back to that, like, you know, respecting people who like compost and veganism and all that stuff, and talking about how, like, no matter what you do, you want to be able to force everyone to, you know, adopt those practices. Because at the end of the day, not only morally, but even physically, like, you talk about, like, veganism. Yeah, veganism is great in concept, but, like, there are some people who physically cannot be vegan. You know, I have friends of mine who have, like, nut allergies that they can't process soy or any other of the really popular, like, alternatives in vegan diets, that if they literally would not be able to eat fucking meat and cheese and milk, they die. Like, you know, there's that. And then obviously there's the moral dilemma that some people just simply don't want to do it. And then you also have the other side, that the other reality is, which is going back to the argument I was saying, that there's no such thing as ethical consumption, period. You know, you got to see, like, how many indigenous, like, tribes in South America have been pushed out of their, like, you know, their original lands in order for all these companies to raise their land to produce soy. And, you know, and all the different forests that have been, like, brought down to create more, like, farmlands and all that stuff to produce all these other vegan and vegetable alternatives for vegan diets that have subsequently run out indigenous wildlife from that area and has put them in danger
like, no
of
matter
extinction.
if it's vegan or non, like, there's still this similar repercussions. Like, there's land being destroyed,
and that's not to argue
rather
against veganism, like, veganism fucking causes damage too, so why even do
I think
it?
more than anything, it's like, it's about what you said about consumption in general. Like, whether you choose one lifestyle or the other, it's about limiting your own consumption. Again, it's too much of one thing, you know?
Exactly. No matter what lifestyle you lead, it's about trying to lead it in the least damaging way possible.
Like, how was it that our ancestors, or, like, you know, way deep back, they were, what is it called? Foragers or whatever, collectors? What the fuck is the word?
I think it was like, it was like foraging and agriculture and, like,
yeah, like my point is that they would be, hunting and foraging, right? So they would, hunter-gatherer, yeah. And they were eating way less than what we eat on the average day today. They were maybe eating, like, at a week. And obviously there was way less people on the planet. But, like, if people consume less, not just food either, but, like, of everything, I feel like that's the only way that we can, like, maybe get back on track to...
Yeah, Western society has always had a big issue with overconsumption.
Well, and it doesn't help that, like, not really... I feel like more than capitalism, it's just consumerism has taken over the world, you know?
Exactly. But oh well. What can you do?
Yeah, well. We're going to be long dead before any of that.
Other than spread the word about it and, you know, educate people on it, which is...
I think it is good that we're aware of it, at least.
Well, I mean, that's the best we could do right now, man. We're a bunch of poor boys, fucking poor little Puerto Rican boys who can't do really much. The best we can do is talk shit on this podcast and see if people listen. Like,
get a solar panel whenever I finally get a house. You know, that's the most I could do, bro.
That's our contribution right now until things hopefully get better. But yeah, I don't know. I think that's pretty much it. Like, people educating people, you know, people becoming aware, you know, getting the right information and putting it out there, because that's the most important part of it. That's what gets the fight for change started. Waking people up to the reality of it. But yeah, and that's why we haven't been doing the podcast lately.
We've been caught up in our philosophical bullshit.
This is the podcast every time, though, dude.
The world's dragging me down, man.
Man, everything sucks, bro.
I just can't deal, bro.
Why can't I get some pussy?
Why can't I get... I just want TikTok to die already.
Why do TikTokers fucking die? No.
Oh, Jesus.
No. I don't mean that. There's some really funny TikTokers out there.
All right, I'm going to switch it up. All right, I got no segue for this one. I just wanted to bring this up because I'm sure you probably didn't hear about it. But
NFTs are a disaster.
There's this show on Twitch recently. Do you remember Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader?
Yeah.
Essentially, this guy, Misgiff, who's pretty popular right now, he hosts a show where he brings on other popular streamers and asks them like grade 1 to 12 questions or what, like in order. You know, they start from like the lowest and you get points for answering. Motherfuckers really be cheating on it.
Of course they're going to be cheating on it. You really think they wouldn't?
Well, that's the thing. Like, how do you...
how do you prove you're smarter than a fifth grader? It's by cheating. That's how you do it.
On the live TV show, you don't have your computer in front of you. That's the difference.
Exactly. They be slacking on that TV show. I've always said cheating makes everything more fun.
I guess for me, the thing is, if there wasn't prize money involved, then I guess it would be... Like if there's no prize money and you cheat at that point, like what are you doing, bro? Like, but there is prize money involved. But I don't even think that the streamers were even necessarily after the money. I think it's more like they wanted to prove to the general audience that they're not stupid.
They don't want to look stupid.
Yeah.
But fact of the matter is, even the general audience is stupid. So what does it
matter? But now
you
end up looking dumber because you got caught cheating on a freaking Twitch show that doesn't matter at all.
Yeah, like, bro, where's your pride?
Oh
Even though I'm very much an advocate where, like, listen, man, everyone's talking about, like, man, people aren't watching sports as much nowadays. This new generation, all they care about is VTubers and streamers and the Overwatches. And I'm just like, well, that's because your fucking sports are boring. You know what you got to do? Let them use the steroids. You want to make sports interesting again? Let them juice up. We want to watch super people.
MMA, bro. You know, you just got to let them kill each other.
We want to see super people do these sports, man. That's what we need. That's the breath of fresh air. Watching people like jump 50 feet into the air to fucking dunk on a motherfucker. That's what we need to see.
Yeah, that's weak, bro. I want 100 feet.
Watch a person crack a home run so hard that it creates a sonic boom and it makes contact.
I want a double backflip into a dunk, you know?
Yeah, word, dude. Let them use the roids. Let them do it.
I want the pitcher to get hit with the ball in the face and just be out.
When I'm watching
forever.
football, I want to hear the contact from outside of the stadium because they're knocking into each other so hard.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they need to do. So, you know, on game shows, just give them steroids.
Just let them cheat. Yeah,
just let them cheat. Why not? Let them take Adderall. Fuck it.
Jesus. I don't know, man. I just feel like that's got to be pretty embarrassing to...
definitely. Get caught cheating on stream.
Win that, and then, like, everyone knows you cheated. But, I don't know. For me, I think I only got caught cheating once in like middle school.
I think this is like the fourth time you've told this story.
I know. But I'm just saying that was like one of my most embarrassing moments. So I can't imagine.
I'd say this is one of your most embarrassing moments, bro. You telling the same story again. Yeah, cry about it, babe.
I'm just referencing the past episode of the podcast.
Look at this guy referencing himself. Oh my god, what a narcissist.
We got a narrative going, bro. Come on.
Oh my god, he's trying to establish an overarching continuity. What a fucking nerd. Have you heard of NFTs?
Oh yeah, that's like the meme cryptocurrency sort of, right?
It's like with art.
Like they're monetizing memes basically.
I don't fully get how it works, but from what I've been explained, it's both shady and ridiculous.
From my understanding, at least the most basic way I can say is kind of like monetizing meme, because the only example I heard of it was that girl from was it Overattached Girlfriend or whatever? The one with the super beady big eyes.
Yeah.
And yeah, she basically tried to turn that image into an NFT.
I've been seeing it more in the art community, that they're trying to sell art pieces as NFT. Even like old like art, like fucking the Mona Lisa and shit.
Oh.
And some dude was just like, yeah, I'm going to buy the Mona Lisa as an NFT and burn it.
What the hell?
As like a statement against NFTs.
It says it stands for a non-fungible token.
Yeah, and you could like
it works
turn
with
art pieces
blockchain, which is
into
the
NFT.
same thing that cryptocurrency works on.
Yeah. But like apparently people in the art community are vehemently against it. Which I get it. Because like then other people can sell your art as an NFT. Which is fucked up.
NFTs are tracked to provide the owner with a proof of ownership separate from copyright.
Exactly.
So basically you could like steal a digital asset and claim it as yours.
Yep.
Bruh. Is someone about a NFT all the Munching Orange videos?
Probably.
I better get to it first.
Technically they could.
I don't know, man. I want to say that it's not going to take off, but then again, you know.
Well, if it keeps getting held up to the scrutiny that it's getting, maybe it won't, but you never know.
I mean, it is a type of cryptocurrency, though, right? Or what would be the word for it? I guess, yeah, a type of crypto, not like separate from coins.
Yeah, it's just turning like these digital pieces of media into like property outside of copyright. It's really weird. It's really strange how that even works legally. I don't understand.
Access to any copy, however, is not restricted to the buyer. So the buyer would just own, quote unquote, the original file. But they wouldn't even have the original file. They just... That doesn't even make sense. What the...
It's stupid, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, how do people make money from it? Like, is it any time anyone posts the meme, they get money? Like, I don't get it.
I don't know. And it don't make no sense.
Yeah, I'm not really sure. Oh, I mean, we can talk about something that does make sense to us instead.
Like what? That's not a lot of things. You gotta narrow it down, man.
How have you liked Friday Night... Resident Evil 8?
I fucking loved it. I joke my cock to it every night. I fondle my balls. It's great. It's good.
Do you really? Because, like, you know, that could tie back to, like, the whole too much of a good thing. Like, you might want to chill on that.
It's never too much of that,
homie.
bro. You joke your cock, it gets long, bro. That's how it works. And what better to joke your cock to than fucking Resident Evil crazy monster ladies, man.
I recently learned from playing the game that it's Dimitrescu.
No, it's not.
Okay, you say it.
Dimitrescu.
There's no ooh.
Are you Romanian?
That's how fucking Heisenberg said it.
Because Heisenberg is a fucking twat, bro. Go to fucking to any Romanian person and they're going to tell you, like, yeah, that's not how you say it.
Well, what kind of... I don't have to do this research.
Her name is Romanian. It's Dimitrescu.
Bruh, the Duke, I gave her the body.
The Duke smells like Dookie.
You're right. He does look like the type that would like pick the gunk out of from the middle of his toes.
I typed Dimitrescu and one of the first, literally the first result is Dimitrescu pronunciation.
Okay, now click it and listen to it. There's no ooh sound.
It turns out the U at the end is silent in the game, but in official Romanian dialect it is pronounced Dimitrescu.
Yeah, fuck you. I'm going by the game. All right? We're talking about the game here.
The game sucks.
0 out of 10. They can't even teach you Romanian.
Let's see how Google Translate does it. Hold on. Translate.
Okay, how do you it's not a real word. It's a proper name.
Yeah, it'll still translate it.
Really?
Is Romanian a language? Or do they speak a specific language in Romania?
I'm pretty sure Romanian is a language.
Bruh, they don't speak what was this one place? They don't speak English, Brazilian in Brazil.
Do you speak it?
They don't speak Brazilian in Brazil, do they?
I mean,
I fucking got you there. Shut up.
I'm just saying there could be an argument that Portuguese in Brazil is different than in Portugal.
I don't know. I think you're.
Anyway, Lady Dimitrescu.
Here we go.
I'm going with the, you can say
hey,
however you want.
Hey, escucha, mamá, dicho.
Dimitrescu.
What am I gonna do with you?
Nothing.
What am I gonna do with you? Huh?
We're gonna
What
fight.
do you want me to say? You
We're
want
gonna fight to the death, and the winner is the right one.
Toriyama? I'm gonna need Toriyama to, like, do you want me to get a time machine? Tell him to Google translate the name of his own character that he created and then pronounce it properly?
I don't think Akira Toriyama created Lady Dimitrescu.
You know, actually, I'm curious what they told the voice actors. Were they just like, oh, actually, it's the U is silent? Like, because I'm sure that one of them, if they didn't know.
It's just like all of them
probably
fucking
read
pronounce it different,
Like-
bro. That's the
What?
I don't know if you've noticed, but like almost everyone in the game says it different.
Well, all of them say it without the U, though.
But even Lady Dimitrescu herself says Domitrescu instead of Dimitrescu. Like they all say it different.
Yeah, but that's a play on word because she's a dominatrix, you see.
I think you're a fucking dumb bitch.
Jesus Christ.
We have fun here on this podcast.
Yeah, we like to have fun around here.
But getting back to the actual, yes, I very much enjoy the game. It's
Well,
like
we'll
now,
call her Lady D. Can we agree on that?
No, I want to call her Lady D.
Lady D's
D.
nuts. Got him.
You fucking bitch! I think if I'm gonna like facts, bro, I think it's now like my second favorite Resident Evil game.
Oh, I was about to say, rather than do like a spoilery thing, we can just say like, how would you rank it now among all the Resident Evils?
I'd say.
Obviously, there's some recency bias, I feel. That's always a thing, but like...
Maybe, but I think... I don't know. It's just like, I really enjoyed the first time. I'm already on my third playthrough. And I just really enjoy the variety of stuff you can like unlock and do. You could get,
You know
like,
what? I enjoy the variety in gameplay. Like...
Same.
Again, I don't want to be super spoilery, but there's areas where they like take away the guns and it feels more like PT than Resident Evil.
Bro, that fucking
And like,
House
I love that,
Beneviento
dude. The
fucked
haunted
me up.
house, the dollhouse.
House Beneviento fucked me up.
Yeah,
Big
that
time.
might be my favorite area,
I don't know if
honestly.
you went to Twitter when the game like first came out, bro, but everyone was talking about how that fucking bit messed them up. Like, everyone was literally
You know what's
saying
weird?
this
I
is
wasn't
like,
really that scared of the baby monster.
what? Bro,
Like,
I saw that thing and I was like, no.
Like, I feel like everybody freaked out at that, and I'm just like...
It's disgusting!
kinda cute. Like, I was fucking trying to pet him.
That shit was gross, though. That thing, okay, but I don't know. How, like, I think this is how we can... How freaked out were you at the point when it showed up?
That's what I mean.
Were you usually in your little funny haha mood that you usually get when you get scared? Because that's like the way you cope? Or were you actually letting yourself really get scared?
Well, I don't know, man. I mean, I don't want to, like, say I'm freaking not a scaredy cat or
Well,
something.
I mean,
just feel
fear
like
is subjective.
that specifically didn't scare me all that much.
That's what I mean. Fear is subjective. Like, I know Critical Charlie said, like, it didn't scare him for shit. Like,
Yeah.
You know,
no, I
know
felt
for
like the only part in the dollhouse that creeped me out was it even in the dollhouse? Yeah, the radio. Like, the radio where Mia's talking and all that.
everything about it freaked me the hell out, bro. Since I stepped in the door, I was like,
Oh, actually, no, it was the freaking doll on the table. That shit, because I felt like every time I was going to remove a body part from it, like there was going to be a jump scare.
Yeah. But that was
got
pretty
me,
much
like,
the entire
really
house,
anxious.
bro. The entire house was like a build up to a jump scare that didn't happen until
Yeah.
the baby.
I don't know. I guess that's the thing. I'm going to be honest, okay? I kind of like figured out a strategy to not get scared. And this is why I feel that
You cover your eyes.
games where you can't run are inherently 10 times scarier. Because in RE8, if you just run at everything, it's like 10 times less scary.
I guess.
Like, for example, when the dolls are, like, hunting you around, you have to, like, look around for the doll on the floor. Like,
yeah.
That area, that didn't scare me at all because I was just running around the house.
No, that didn't scare me. For me, it was just like, oh, I don't... You know what scared me about it? That I was afraid that if I died, I had to do the baby part again.
Oh.
That's the part that scared me about it. But
on the other hand, the factory, like, even if I was running through it, that shit terrified me because they have those, like, bodies that could activate or, like, get awake at any moment.
Yeah, at any moment. Oh, I didn't
that scared me a lot. It did. Mainly because you never know which one or when it's gonna wake up.
For me, it was like a tense kind of scary though. Like how the House Beneviento was like getting under my skin and in my head, kind of creepy. Heisenberg's Factory was kind of just like, you know, like thriller, anxiety.
Yeah.
Kind of
I guess that's my kind of horror though. That I would say that the factory is my favorite area.
My favorite area in the game. Wow. I don't know, dude. I really like them all. Like, even, like, I would say maybe the weakest one. And even then, I don't say it in the weakest like it was bad. I still think it was good, really good, and a good change of pace. But it's the weakest overall was Moreau.
Yeah, I agree with that for sure.
But, like, it was still good for what it was. It was just not the strongest out of everything.
It was fun. I think they could have done with maybe more boat segments. Like, I feel like being on the boat in the middle of the lake can be really terrifying on its own.
Yeah, either that or like adding enemies in the part where you had to like do the switches and like get around.
Oh yeah. That part felt kind of boring to me.
Yeah, because if you just stayed away from him, nothing was gonna happen. Like,
he was very like he had a very defined pattern. Yeah. So
and if you had enemies that were like constricting you and causing you to like fuck, if you don't take them out quick, they were gonna push you into his way. You know, that would have been a lot more tense, I feel.
That's true.
I haven't played it in Village of Shadow, though, because apparently in Village of Shadow, they add enemies to where there usually aren't.
Oh.
Including boss battles. So maybe that'll happen in Village of Shadows, but I'll have to see. But
I think for me, it might be... Overall, see, I don't know if I like it more than Resident Evil 7.
I just think it's a different game.
It is, but in terms of ranking all the Resident Evils now, like, because for me, 4 is still undefeated. Like, I don't know. I feel like 4, and it is partly nostalgia. I'll admit that. But I just feel like even still replaying it now, I still get fucking tense when, like, that first part with the village and the chainsaw guy shows up.
Yeah.
And the only part in 8 that made me feel that way was the factory at the, like, towards the end.
For me,
so I would say 4 is still top, but then second would either be this one or 7. I don't know. It's just kind of close.
I'm gonna throw this your way. Do you think you might have had a little different of an impression of the game if you went through it the first time in hardcore?
Yeah, definitely.
Because when you were talking about how like that initial village section with the chainsaw man, I got that exact impression with the first part. When you start in the game and that first horde of werewolves shows up. I don't know if you saw my stream. It took me like an hour and a half almost to beat it. Because I kept
I think you're right. Because I'm a little bitch and I chose standard difficulty. Because I wanted to like, you know, beat the game in a reasonable time. And I still didn't. But when I played the demo of the village area... I felt that. I felt like it was very tense. Like you didn't have enough ammo to just clear every enemy, so you kind of had to get tricky. And
it was like it was tense. At one point, I was starting to get frustrated because I was like, "Shit, how long do I have to stay alive?" But ultimately, it left like a good impression on me because it was just fucking tense. They were everywhere. I didn't have the ammo to fight them all. They could kill me so fast. And that same thing happened in the part before you get to Heisenberg when you go to like the den of the lichens.
Oh,
where like they keep showing up and showing up and showing up, then they don't stop until you get to
that's like the only part on standard. That's the only part where I've skipped enemies, and I think that is a testament to how much or how less tense it is. But like, there's still like how fucking baby is casual difficulty then.
And that's like brain dead. Like casual difficulty has to be brain dead, bro.
Yeah, I feel like you don't like you probably don't even have to try. Like you can just walk through them.
Yeah. But bro, hardcore there was a lot of tough parts. Even Moreau was tough in hardcore. Like but I ultimately enjoyed it. But like for me, here's the thing. 7 is a really good game. I love it. I still think it's one of the better ones. But it's not, in my opinion, the best Resident Evil game. It still has, it's still Resident Evil, undeniably. And it has a lot of elements that make it Resident Evil. But when you compare it to what I define as a Resident Evil game, it's not up there. For me, what makes a Resident Evil game is that whole sensation of just like, the game usually starts out where you feel like a fish out of water and you feel like you're in a very fucked situation. But the more you go on and the more you learn about the game and the more you like get practice in juggling those resources, it goes into that very survival part of survival horror where I felt like 7 was consistently horror and much less survival. Because but much less survival in the sense of Resident Evil, because the survival in Resident Evil was less of just like you could die at any moment, because you're powerless. No, it was more like you had to be really good with your resource management. That was the survival aspect. Like it was more kind of like if you had to survive in the woods versus surviving in a house full of serial killers and all you have to defend yourself is your bare hands. You know what I mean? And I feel like 8 did a better job of encapsulating that experience, where 7 survival felt a little bit more in line with games like Outlast or Amnesia, where like, yeah, you have a gun and you could kill enemies, but you always had like an absurdly limited amount of ammo, and even then your weapons for the most part felt useless, especially against most of like the boss enemies like Jack and Marguerite and all that stuff. So it was definitely more on the horror side of survival horror. And even the survival parts, like I said, felt more like Outlasty, more just like it was really scary and really like, which was great. And I loved it because it provided like a breath of fresh air in the franchise. Whereas Resident Evil 8 still had those scary moments, especially in like things like House Beneviento, and even at the start of the game where your resources were very limited, but you could feel that progression in the game where the more you go on, you have more of a gauge of how strong your weapons are and what you really need, like what are the essentials for you to get through to the next part. But it also had that feeling that I really liked, at least in hardcore, that it always felt at the end of every encounter like I barely made it out of there. And like I enjoyed that so much, and I just enjoyed all the like the callbacks to like the original games in the series, and I enjoyed how much it like reminisced of 4, which is a great game in the franchise, but also it felt more grounded than 4. I talked about it in the stream where like I love 4, but 4 definitely has more of an arcadey feel to it, because like you mow down the enemies and the enemies drop like ammo, so it's a lot harder for you to run out of ammo. And like, and
it's literally arcade. Like the ammo is like glowing. Like
glowing on the floor and all that stuff. Whereas in Resident Evil 8, stylistically it's very reminiscent to 4, but the enemies only ever drop like resources that you would expect them to have. Whether it's like health items or a bit of scrap that they were probably carrying around, and you use them to combine and make ammo and all that kind of stuff. Or, their little crystal skulls, their treasure bits. So it made it feel a little bit less arcadey and more like I am surviving in this horrible nightmare village with all a bunch of these creepy little creatures that just like all that they have left on them is whatever they had in their pockets when they were still alive or something,
Bro, Ethan's a savage ripping out those skulls from their dead enemies, man.
Yeah, like, bro. I love. That's another thing. I like Ethan a lot more in this game than in 7.
Yo, actually, I don't know if I know I'm not the only one because I've seen other reviewers playing it. I was fucking cracking laughing whenever Ethan does his like one-liners, like, and not because they were like well written either. But it's like a fine line between cheesy and like I guess realistic, because I feel like anybody. It's kind of generic, but like it's true though. I was like, that's what everybody would be thinking in that moment.
Because, like, that's another thing I was saying. There's definitely some lines in that game where I'm just like, this is over dramatic.
Like, bro, when this is in
when
the
the girl
so
falls into
bad.
the fire and he's just like, why does everyone keep dying on me? I'm like,
dude, I was
Ethan,
laughing.
that's not what
stream.
somebody says out loud, Ethan. You're being dramatic.
I was dying laughing at that part. I'm like, I don't know if I should feel bad for laughing at that, but like, it was funny,
bro. But there were other parts in the game where like Ethan would say some shit and I'm just like, funny. Like the part where you like pull the boat out in Moreau's section where he's just like, oh, I caught a big one. I'm like, ha! Ethan added some
and then
levity.
there's other parts where you're just like, come on. Like, I think when you kill him, he's like, disgusting as he was alive as he is dead or something.
Yeah, at that point I was just like, damn, Ethan, he's already dead, dude.
Like, yeah, chill, man. He was fucking crying. Like,
yeah, but Moreau's a bitch. Fuck him.
No, yeah, I was actually gonna talk about that because I don't really feel bad for him because he was a piece of shit, but you can tell they were really trying to kind of make
you feel a little bad for him. But at the same time, he was fucking experimenting and murdering on people.
No, that's why I don't feel bad. If you go to his lab and read the notes and all that, then yeah, he's a piece of shit.
One I felt the most bad for was Donna.
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah,
like,
she was
definitely like roped into it. Like she was definitely, and you know, getting the virus put into her is what drove her crazy. Mm-hmm. For the other ones, it definitely felt like they were willing, except for Heisenberg. But Heisenberg, I have a feeling that Heisenberg was always a sack of shit. Even before, I fucking despise that. No, I despise Heisenberg. I hate him.
I think he might be my favorite character still.
You know, you want to know why I hate him? Because he's such a smug cunt. Like, it's like
that's what I love about him.
But no, with some people it feels right because like the way they carry themselves and the way they speak, it feels appropriate, especially behind their actions. Heisenberg feels like the kid who always had like a huge like narcissistic ego and people would make fun of him for it because he was kind of a prick until one day someone got him a really big gun. And then like now he thinks he's the hot shit because he's got the big gun. I feel like that's what Heisenberg is. Like he was a fucking dude. Nobody liked him because he's an asshole, but then he got superpowers.
Come on, man. That was a great analogy.
Oh, the Jeff Bezos one?
He's literally Jeff Bezos. He's like a freaking nerd until suddenly he's got like the richest company and now he's just an asshole.
Yeah. Except I have a feeling Jeff Bezos was always an asshole. You know what I mean?
Well, that's the same thing Heisenberg was always narcissistic too.
Exactly. That's what I mean. Plus, like, the way he talks is also kind of like, you know, very doofy,
I think that's part of why I like him. His
magnanimous.
voice is so like condescending all the time.
Yeah. But like it's kind of like in a nerdy way. It's like he's like a Redditor to me.
Oh my god, dude, he's a Discord mod.
Exactly. He's like a fucking Redditor, dude. He like believes his own hype, but everyone knows he's a doof. That's what I was saying in my chat, and I just want to punch him in the face.
Wait, you have Reddit Gold and you're a Discord mod?
Gross. I'd fucking report him to the police. I report that person to the police stat. Heisenberg would probably, if Ethan was a girl, he'd call you kitten.
Or wait, the meme is you're a Redditor and a Discord admin? Have you seen that video?
Yeah.
That's Heisenberg.
That's Heisenberg. I fucking hate him. I don't know. Out of my favorite characters, I think it would have to be between Lady D. Just because I feel like Lady D does the, like, you know, I know I'm better than you attitude than Heisenberg. Heisenberg definitely does feel kind of like he just throws tantrums all the time. Mm-hmm. He's always pissed and he's always yelling at everybody. He has such a short temper. I felt like Lady D was a lot more composed. Like, because until you didn't, like, kill her daughters, which, I mean, you killed her daughter, she didn't really lose her shit at you. Mm-hmm. And even when she lost her shit at you, she was just like, I'm gonna fucking tear you in half. Like, she wasn't just stomping around her house. Yeah, she wasn't stomping around her house going like, this one, I'm gonna get you! That was like Heisenberg. But, I liked her a lot, and I liked the Duke. The Duke is definitely, like, up there as one of my favorites. Because he's, like, everything I really like in that character. He's, like, you know, you don't know if you could trust him fully, but, like, he turns out being a real good guy. and like you don't know much about him. He's like very wrapped in mystery, but still he's a good guy. I like that trope. I like that.
I
trope
haven't finished it yet. I'm at the very end, but like even at the towards the end, like I feel that still I don't know if the Duke, I mean, he's good to Ethan, but is he overall a good dude? I don't know. You know, like I like that there's a sense of mystery to him.
I've always liked that kind of character where they're shrouded in mystery and they seem shady, but ultimately they turn out being pretty much good people. But and
I wouldn't say he's even good. He's just like he's not bad though. Like he's just neutral, basically. Yeah.
But I liked him a lot. And my favorite segment of the game, man, it's tough. It has to be between Castle Dimitrescu and Heisenberg's factory.
So I totally agree with what you said earlier, by the way, and it kind of makes me realize that I love RE7, but maybe not. Maybe it's because it's not like a Resident Evil game.
Yeah.
So in terms of a Resident Evil game, I would say this is probably like, well, the best modern one at least.
Yeah,
because it does call back to.
For me, it's like number 2 in my personal scale. Like for me, number 1 is Resident Evil 2 Remake. I feel like that's the pinnacle.
Yeah.
Resident Evil 2 Remake is for me, like the best. Period. It's not my favorite. My favorite is Resident Evil 3 Classic. But Resident Evil 2 Remake for me is just like, I'm pretty sure you could walk up to anyone and they'll tell you, yep, this one's the best one. And for me, Resident Evil 8 takes the second place of that. I don't count the classics because the classics are the classics, man. You can't really go wrong.
I think like
with the classics.
The reason why 8 is so good too is because you get that classic feel in certain areas, like Castle, the factory. It really feels like a remake, like the remakes basically.
Yeah.
But then you also have the dollhouse area, which is very much like Resident Evil 7.
Yeah, bro, that dollhouse. Every time someone brings it up, it's just like it fucking reminds. I don't know, dude. You could go back to my VOD and you'll see how much I was like not
feeling it.
Composed.
I think if I streamed it, I would have been a lot more scared because you're playing with headphones and like you're just.
Oh, you didn't stream it?
It's just you. No, I streamed up till beating Lady D, and then I just played the rest of it. Because, well, one thing, like, I don't know, I don't stream that often, and then also I just feel like I'm so much slower when I'm streaming.
Oh, really?
But I was playing it alone in the dark with, like, good volume. But I feel like just headphones does a completely different experience.
Yeah, dude, I had, like, my headphones in. Chat was not helping me. Like, they were being fuckers about it. From the moment I walked into that house, I was just like, I'm not gonna have a good time in here. I'm not gonna have a good time in here. And then they take away your weapons, and I'm like, I'm definitely not gonna have a good time in here. And when the lights go out and you're going down those stairs to the well, bro, that's when I checked out.
Oh, yeah. The well did creep me out. That's when I was
like, no!
I think anybody our age, like, instantly thinks of the ring.
The ring. Yeah. I was like, that's what as soon as I walked out, I was like, this is some Ringu shit. I'm not about this. And then, like, the baby starts crying. And I'm like, no, no, no. And then you see the fucking doll's gone. And the lights are all red. The radio's going off. The fucking umbilical cord on the floor. And then you around the corner and that awful atrocity comes out from around the fucking corner. Ugh. And just the noise it makes, like, because it's like the combination of that very bassy, like really unfathomably realistic baby crying and laughing, because it's not like it's just crying, it's like giggling.
They had to take some inspiration from PT, right?
I do. Because I feel like one of the people who worked on PT was on the team.
Oh, okay, yeah, because the baby itself, like the head, had basically like maybe 80% the same like face.
And it's just like the slopping noise it would make when it would walk, and the heavy thumps, bro, and the laughing.
I think if PT had been made into a full game, that baby would have been like in it.
It was like it was going da da, and I'm like, no, I'm not.
Oh my god! Yeah, the final words is like, or no? Did you ever die to it?
Yes, I did. It like vores you.
Yeah, and it fucking says yummy.
Yeah, and I love that. I didn't like it. And like the part where you have to hide under the bed, bro. Ooh.
Oh, that okay, yeah. You know what? That part, I was fucking clenching.
I was losing.
I forgot about that. Like, I don't know. When it was chasing me down the hall, I wasn't scared at all. But the part under the bed, that, like, yeah, I did not like that. And especially because I hid under the bed facing away from the door. So I didn't know for like 90% of the time. I didn't know what the fuck it was doing. I didn't know if it was jumping on the bed or like rounding the corner. And then when it does finally round the corner, it looks like it's like it can see you.
Yeah, it looks like it's about to reach under the bed.
Yeah. Like, oh my God. Yeah, that was terrifying, actually.
I didn't like it, bro. And then like the last part where you have to get into the elevator. I don't know how you completed it, but I did it where like I pinged the elevator and like I was like in those segments in the movies whenever there's an elevator segment, I'm like pressing the button going, come on! I'm like, open the door! And I got in at the very last second. It wasn't till later that I realized that you could like run to the door next to you and like circle around and like use the
that
table
has to be scripted though, right? Like they make it come closer.
Yeah, they make it come closer, and like they make it to like you barely have time to get away from it once the door opens.
That's how I felt, because I felt like he wasn't even in sight when I was running to the elevator, and then as soon as I push the button, he's right behind me. I'm like, come on, that's bullshit.
And I was like, and he stands in front of you for a second, like I don't. If you stay looking at him. Like, he actually, like, stays there for a second and then starts approaching you. And then that's when the elevator door opens. And you have to get inside really quick and press the button. And then it, like, closes. I was losing my mind, bro. Like, I'm thinking of, like, like, I saved the VODs. And I'm just going to make, like, I'm going to split it into parts, like, the full playthrough of just, like, the top moments. Because I'm not proud to say it. There was a lot of times where I got jump scared on stream.
You got poopied.
There's one notorious one that got like 8 different people saved the VOD from it. Where like there's this one puzzle that tells you to look out the window, and there's like a jump scare.
Oh, dude, people fucking clipped that for me too. That was a part I called it too. I'm like the papers like look out the window. I'm like, oh, what window? I bet there's a jump scare out the window. And then the game eases you because it doesn't jump scare you immediately.
Yeah, it doesn't do it immediately.
For you, was it immediate for you?
No. It doesn't.
Oh yeah, no. It's only when you line up the fucking numbers, and then that was a very well placed.
I hate
jump scare.
And yeah, the VOD is like literally going like, "Oh fuck, you think that's fucking?" And I immediately shoot it with the shotgun and go outside and unload on him because I was so pissed off. I was just like, I can't believe I knew it was going to happen and it still got me.
I know. I think that's definitely what they were going for then, because I acted the same way. I was like, I knew it was coming and I still got like scared.
It pissed me off. But nah, dude, I fucking loved it. I loved Resident Evil 8. It was good. And like, it has a lot of replayability. I can't wait until you finish it because you unlock a bunch of shit.
I mean, I want to platinum it, but then I saw a lot of the bullshit trophies in it, and I'm like, I don't know.
I'm probably going to platinum it anyways, because I platinum every Resident Evil game. So I'm probably going to do it anyway.
Well, it's definitely recommend. Got the Quip Save seal of play it, beat it.
Play it, yeah, beat it.
Complete it.
Eat it.
Bop it.
Yeet it, then skeet on it.
Twist my nipples and say sultry things into my ear.
All right, I'll do an ASMR stream. Oh no.
So
by the way,
we good?
Games. You say you were gonna talk to me about some games. You haven't talked to me shit about any games.
What do you? We just fucking spent half an hour talking about Resident Evil.
About one game, but you were just like, bro, I got like a list of games I've been wanting to play and talk about. We could do like some collabs and shit for it, bro. All right.
No, I might have been bullshitting. I don't know.
Yeah, you probably were bullshitting.
I mean, the only other games I've played recently was Pika Man Snap, which was pretty good.
Yeah.
Five Nights, Friday Night Funkin'.
Okay.
That's the one.
All right, bye.
Have you ever had a dreams that you could be anything?
No. I gotta pee. I gotta pee and I gotta poop and I gotta shit and I gotta come.